like an IG story of him beating up two members of Fast Break in broad daylight.
Oh, that boy was acting for real.
A recent Fast Break member named Fat Dave, who was killed in broad daylight, was a result of Joker. But the
that boy was out here like that? That boy was on the court shooting and in the field shooting, and not the football field.
It would probably have to be his song that he called Swing My.
What's going on, JB fam? We back with another video. You already know what it is. You already know what to do, man. It's a follow-up video on this high school basketball player who wanted to be gangster and ended up getting killed 24 hours after he dropped the diss song, bro. He had the highest SAT scores in his whole school. Stupid D1 offers. But hey, bro, we finna check it out. So y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let's hop right into the video.
Double life. A life where you're a grade A student with the highest SAT score in your school by day, unwielding homicidal drill artist by night. Noah Scurry, aka Joker OTV, might just be a prime example of book smarts not equaling street smarts. I don't think there's a single time where I've seen the tale of two cities unfold in the most crash out way possible. Like genius apparently in the classroom and straight autistic with the Glock on the internet. Drake got a music video with like 10 Glocks with buttons stuffed in a refrigerator door like month-old popsicles. You know, navigating the underworlds of the North Philly drill scene, he became infamous for claiming wreck for the son of one of Philly's biggest names, Gilly the Kid.
Triple shooting in Philadelphia's Olney section claimed the life of an up-and-coming musician. The 25-year-old rap artist was known as Young Cheese, and he's the son.
Oh, he killed Gilly the King, son.
Gilly the King.
Bruh had to take his crash-out talents into music, but his ops were not having it.
Oh, bro.
He originally dropped one song and didn't even make it a week before the ops caught him lacking.
That boy dropped his first song ever. He dropped the diss track, and he gets killed the next day, bro. Stay out the streets, bro.
The story came to a surprising and bloody conclusion. The nation was captivated by his lore through TMZ articles and blog posts. Honestly, it was hard for anyone to wrap their head around how a 17-year-old basketball star and student athlete could meet his demise in a cold morning in January. However, when you look at the story of the beef surrounding him, the story that led up to putting these YouTube videos dissing the ops up, the story that many believe ties him to the murder of none other than YG Cheese, everything starts to make more sense. So today we gotta talk about the beef that took out Joker OTV, aka Noah Scurry, one of North Philly's brightest prospects who threw his life away for no reason. We gotta get into it right now, but before,
like, bro, that shit makes no sense, bro. You had a way out the hood. You had a way out the hood, bro. We said, no, I want to be a gangster rapper. I want to kill people. But you could have had millions of NIL money. NBA might have. But,
before we do, gang, I'm gonna need you to tap in, man. Check the link in the description for the merch. Hit that notification bell. So
bro, make sure y'all talk to my clothing brand.
Comment, subscribe. We're on the
link
road to 100 subs. I know we can get it probably just off this video alone, man. So make sure y'all tap in, and we're gonna get into this one thing at a time. Bro, I know you see memes about YNs and how they be ready to catch a hat for the most minor of inconveniences. While it would be a lie to stereotype and say every YN is on that type shit, there's no doubt in my mind that if you box anyone in a dog-eat-dog environment, they're gonna adapt to their cage to survive.
No cap though.
One of those places. The type of places that could turn an average bull on the block into a stray demon by the company they keep around them. While this seems unique to just Joker OTV, this is actually by design, with the government intentionally making Philadelphia one of the most segregated cities in the nation. You ever wonder why Philly is so bad for real? Yeah, Philly is in the northeast, but the government was straight plotting for decades to keep black people in their own little areas with this racist.
But it's like, bro, that shit's lame, bro. Like, if I had any D1 homie, bro, who's about to make it out the hood, bro, there's no way I'm letting him do anything street related, bro. His homies is bogus.
Basically, TLDR, it all dates back way before Joker or Lil Uzi or Meek Mill, back to the 1930s. At the time, mad southern black folks started moving to Philadelphia to get better jobs, which they ended up doing. And North Philly was not actually a bad area to live in. Back in those times, it was a primarily an affordable white neighborhood in the city, so many black people back in the day started setting up shop there, you know, having families and living there, owning houses. Those white people that lived there then moved out in droves because they saw their neighborhood.
Bro, they was not trying to mess with them black folks.
Really vibing with that. So
that's
they
a
intentionally
nigger.
didn't allow any black people to have mortgages if they lived in any other parts of the city besides the north and the west. At the same time, the Great Depression had been going in full steam, and the federal government began allowing white homeowners to refinance their houses to stop the foreclosures and people losing their houses. But they didn't do that for their black population.
They said sayonara, buddy.
Areas. Mix that with mad industrial jobs leaving the city throughout the 20th century, and you got an extreme hotbed of crime that has been brewing for almost 100 years. You got America's sixth largest city with over 1.6 million residents.
Damn.
A higher murder per capita rate than Chicago, the third biggest city.
Bro, I be trying to tell y'all, bro. Philly is worse than Chicago.
This war zone where crash outs stack up bodies like Jenga towers. You got gangs fighting over control, get backs, and in this environment, you got where Joker OTV grew up. You see, Joker OTV, aka Noah Scurry, was an infamous shooter from the Feltonville area in the northeast section of Philadelphia. Being from this area, he was no stranger to drills, death, and gang violence growing up. However, one thing that was pretty remarkable was despite all this going around, he still apparently took school and basketball seriously, even though he wasn't in the best school environment. Living in this area though, he joined
that boy was hooping.
Most likely for protection against the craziness in North Philly, but that was probably his downfall. He ended getting close with a gang from the close by Frankfurt neighborhood called Parkside, also known as CC or Certified Clappers or just Frankfurt. By this point, around the time in the pandemic, he apparently started causing mayhem in the city, as everyone that was around him was most likely doing that too. And in doing so, his gang ended up being dragged into a crazy beat that could play a role in how he was gunned down just a couple days ago, which we'll get into in chapter 2, into 4. While North Philly is kind of a large area, it seems that all the gang politics is intertwined with each other because a large swath of gangs are posted just blocks away from each other. I mean, I wouldn't even call them gangs, they're more cliques, just groups of people that happen to have hella guns and switches and just a mentality ready to just murk people. Pair this
just crash out, straight crash out, straight goofies.
And you're looking at the reason why the murder rate has risen to unprecedented levels. I mean, fortunately in 2024, it was down compared to other years, but before that, it was straight mayhem. Parkside was no stranger to having a lot of problems. Who they one of the most notable was their issue with the gang M24 from the only neighborhood just north of Philly. You see, M24 is a recognizable gang having ties to some pretty big rappers like D12 and close ties to YG Cheese, the son of Gilly the Kid. M24 getting their name from the neighborhood they rep and only being around the Masher and Nedro.
Now that'd be crazy if we really killed Gilly's son.
Put it together, you got M24. At the same time, younger members from that area were tied into them, were repping a clique of YNs called Fast Break, based in the same area on the northern border at 65th Ave and Old Guns. They have a close ties to M24. Not much is known about Fast Break besides the fact that they are mad young, mad crazy, and get their name for, quickly shooting people. Things have gotten so bad that the DA of Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, had a whole press conference on one rainy day last year in a basketball court to announce that he planned on taking down Fast Break after they had been reportedly involved in the shooting of Philly's psycho grave robber YBC Duel.
Basketball court in Olney. DA Larry Krasner reports he's charged a 16-year-old with the killing of 2 and the wounding of others as part of a shooting group.
That is crazy, buddy.
A small group of young people in the city of Philadelphia made a decision to hold a gun, to point a gun at another human being and pull the trigger. The alleged teenage shooter is Aiden Waters. The DA says he's the killer of 25-year-old rapper Abdul Vix in a shooting on the 5500 block of North Fair Hill Street in...
Despite that whole crazy beat that I talked about, Fast Break and M24 have a long-standing feud with Parkside, with Parkside members having public disputes in court to just general dissing for years. These groups have been at odds for a minute. However, things would go completely left when a notable associate of M24 would be gunned down surprisingly one night just several years ago. And that was the shooting that took out Gilly the Kid's son that we mentioned earlier, YG Cheese.
We're trying to piece together what led to a shooting in Olney that left 1 man dead, 2 other people injured. It happened around 8:30 tonight at Masher Street and Nedro Avenue in Olney. Police say a 25-year-old man was killed. 2 other men are in stable condition. No one was arrested.
Devin Spady, aka YG Cheese, was a notable personality and known throughout the city due to his dad's rise to fame with one of the biggest hip-hop platforms really on the planet, $1 million worth of games. But when Gilly the Kid was getting $100 million deals with Barstool, his son was wanting to be in the trenches. One summer night in 2023,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit is stupid, bro. There's no way my pops just signed a $100 million contract and I'm still finna be in the streets. I'm finna go work for Pops. Hey, you talking about?
eventually had ended up catching up to him. YG Cheese had been posted up with N24 members on the 5800 block of Master Street. Little did he know, several masked gunmen were plotting on the group. Many point to this incident being a case of mistaken identity, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But the shooters were looking for blood and came upon a Mercedes that had been still running with 3 people posted upside. Apparently Cheese had just stepped outside for 2 seconds, but that's all it takes.
That's all it takes, bro.
Lacking, and it was
them bullets,
the shooters
them bullets move at 1,500 feet per second.
All 3 of them would get hit, but 2 of them would manage to get away. However, YG Cheese, aka Devin Spady, wasn't so lucky. He got shot in the back in the process of running and unfortunately died at the scene before medical personnel could get there. Off rip, that was a crazy situation, but apparently it would be this chain of events that 2 years later would apparently result in the death of the kid that we know as Joker OTB. And I'll explain how right now, apparently how it went down in chapter 3, Real Joker. Man, it's no secret that Joker OTB, aka Noah Scurry, had major issues with members of Fast Break because bro made it his mission to make it the most federal and self-snitching beef that you can imagine. Honestly, I probably haven't seen blatant disregard for posting online since people like Bloodhound Lil Jeff at this level. This is honestly crazy.
Bro, this
Joker
shit's
OTB
stupid, bro.
Numerous videos have surfaced like an IG story of him beating up 2 members of Fast Break in broad daylight.
Oh, that boy was acting for real.
A recent Fast Break member named Fat Dave, who was killed in broad daylight, was a result of Joker. But the
that boy was out here like that? That boy was on the court shooting and in the field shooting, and not the football field.
Would probably have to be his song that he
Golly.
called Swing My Doors. Bro, I shit you not, this is the most buttons I've ever seen on one place on camera. Bro literally says in the song, he came out the V, now he'll never come back again. Seemingly, people believe mentioning the situation
bro.
with YG Cheese literally in the song. It's crazy though, because he doesn't show his face at all throughout the video, and many believe it could have been his way of avoiding snitching on himself, or a college basketball scout seeing his online activity. But either way, it didn't really matter because
that shit's stupid, bro.
His location and ultimately became his downfall, which we'll talk about in the final chapter right now, the downfall of the Joker.
Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. You not supposed to beef with motherfucker and you still live with your mama, bro. Like, bro, you putting your mama in danger, cuz. Now, what if they would have missed you and then killed your mama? Now what? Your mama gone because of you.
This is just an extreme reminder to anyone young and in the streets that at the end of the day, you're probably going to get murdered if you keep going on that path. And if you already don't care about your lives, you should at least try to stay in a straight path for the people around you. This situation that took out Joker is honestly scarring because it happened right in front of his mother.
Teenager is gunned down in an alleyway behind his home. Noah Scurry is being remembered for his performance both in the classroom and on the basketball court. Games have now been canceled for the rest of the week as the school community mourns his death.
What?
It is Tuesday afternoon. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story.
Hey, bro, you live by the gun, you die by the gun.
Killed Noah Scurry this morning. The 17-year-old shot and killed right in his Feltonville neighborhood.
At around 7:15, Noah Scurry was getting ready to go to school. Him and his mom had just gotten out of the house, and she was going to drop him off at school so he wouldn't have to take the bus. However, just as he was unlocking their doors to get in,
he bounced out on that ass.
White SUV and shot multiple shots in their direction, hitting Scurry multiple times before speeding off. First responders pulled up to a chaotic scene of people grabbing onto his seemingly lifeless body, and they scooped him up and took him to a nearby hospital. Unfortunately, they did not make it in time and he succumbed to his injuries. Man, this whole situation is super crazy. Imagine going to sleep at 9 p.m. the night before just to wake up at 6
and die.
Someone's crib and just try to murk them. Imagine really being that crazy that you be gunning people down first thing in the morning at 7 a.m., bro. You have to be a complete lunatic. And
no cap.
I feel bad, bro.
They was out there stalking.
Like she knew what was going on.
They was
just
hunting.
lost, asking why would someone try to murk her son on the news. But when you see his digital footprint and the way the people around him were so willing to crash, it only paints a more painful picture to the state of the community around him. This death has ended a chapter in a wild book, but it really leaves us with more questions than answers. Police were able to locate a white Jeep SUV that was used in the shooting earlier today, so it seems they might be able to find the culprits pretty quickly. It seems because this is such a high-profile shooting, the city has no choice but to try to solve it. And it seems like that.
Man, that's about the end of the video, y'all. But that shit crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But it's like, hey, bro, the lifestyle that you pick, that shit come with consequences, bro. Like, his homies is really lame, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like I said in the beginning of the video, there's no way I'm letting my homie, who D1 bound, damn near perfect score on the SAT, D won't offer is I'm finna let him be out here in the streets going on drills. If you don't sit your goofy ass down and study, boy. Like, bro, hell no, bro. But hey, if y'all got to see the video, I appreciate y'all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, roll to 1,000 subscribers. Tap into my second reaction channel, JBsiah 2, link in the description. Or tap into all my other previous videos. We going crazy on that. Man, y'all stay out of the way, get you some money. All love, JBsiah, we out.